Who exactly is Mark Carney, Canada's new Prime Minister? If you've been watching the headlines, you know this is a name that's suddenly everywhere. But who is the man behind the resume? And what does his leadership mean for the future of Canada? Mark Carney was born in Fort Smith, Northwest Territories, yes, way up north. He's got a classic Canadian story, but it's his international journey that really sets him apart. Carney studied economics at Harvard, then went on to earn a doctorate from Oxford, not your average academic path. He started his career at Goldman Sachs on Bay Street, but it didn't take long before he moved from banking to public service. Carney became governor of the Bank of Canada just in time for the 2008 global financial crisis. While the world was reeling, he helped steer Canada safely through the storm, so much so that 5 years later, Britain called him up to take over their central bank. That's right, he was the first non-British governor of the Bank of England. He ran the UK's economy through the chaos of Brexit. I mean, how many Canadians can say they ran two G7 economies? But Carney isn't just about suits and spreadsheets. After his time in London, he chaired Brookfield Asset Management and worked with Bloomberg. And then, in early 2025, he made the leap into politics, stepping up as leader of the Liberal Party after Justin Trudeau's resignation. Now here's where it gets interesting. The 2025 federal election wasn't just any election. US President Donald Trump slapped heavy tariffs on Canadian goods, think 25% on cars and anything not covered by USMCA. He even threw around the idea of Canada becoming the 51st US state. That fired up Canadian pride like never before. Carney's message: this is Canada, and we decide what happens here. He promised to fight back with retaliatory tariffs of his own and to use that revenue to support Canadian workers. He's pushing to diversify our trade so we're not so reliant on the US. And he wants to strengthen our economy from the inside out, especially for industries and workers hit hardest by global uncertainty. And that message resonated. In April 2025, Canadians turned out in record numbers. The Liberals secured a historic fourth term, with Carney winning his Ottawa riding, making him the first PM to represent Canada's capital since John A. Macdonald. He's promised to negotiate a new relationship with the US, as two sovereign nations, not as a pushover neighbor. He's putting Canada's interests first, with a focus on economic resilience, national pride, and a future that's a little less dependent on anyone else. So, who is Mark Carney? He's a northern kid turned global heavyweight, an economist with a backbone, and now the new Prime Minister ready to chart Canada's course through choppy waters. If you're wondering what's next for Canada, keep your eyes on Carney, because the story is just getting started.